Hi, I'm going to read you the story of corn. The story of corn. Your vocabulary for this article will be natural selection, teosinte, selective breeding, and artificial selection. Hungry? Here, chew on this 1-inch rock-hard cylinder. Don't want to? Why not? It's edible. It's a plant. Still no, huh? What if I were to tell you that after some changes, the thing you're holding on to in your hand is one of the 3 packaged foods from the grocery store? At least in one form or another. What changes would have to happen in order to transform from something you can barely eat, to a food found everywhere? The thing you're holding in your hand is corn. Well, it's kind of cool, corn. What you hold in your hand is corn before it became the corn we know today. Nature made this dark, hard little thing you cannot eat over many, many years ago. It didn't start out small and hard, but it slowly changed over time. This little plant has been around for a long time because people have been eating it for thousands of years. Natural selection is when living things that are better at surviving will have a better chance to reproduce. Everything around us has changed over time. If something cannot survive, it will die and not be able to have offspring or make babies. As some things live and some survive better, the types of things that we see around us will change. The plant that made this early corn is the product of millions of years of changes. You might not want to eat it right now, but people found a way to long ago. So what does that mean? So what was the small hard corn before it was corn we eat today? Nature may have changed it a bit, but the main reason that the corn is so large and delicious as it is today is that people made it that way. Teosinte is a wild grass that changed over time into large yellow corn that we know today. Both nature and people have helped this grass to change into maize, which is another word for corn. Maize was very important to the Native American cultures. They ground it up and used it as powder to make bread and other foods. They also used the dried husks to make things like baskets and mats. The ears came in all colors, red, blue, white. The plant became so important that the people decided to take the reins away from nature and start making changes themselves. As I said before, not all corn looked the way it does today, and people wanted the biggest and best food they could get. If a plant grows bigger ears, they would have more food. By planting the seeds from the best plants, we took over for nature and we started choosing which corn plants would pass off their genes. Selective breeding is when people choose what living things get to make new offspring. We always choose the best ones and the ones that make us the happiest. We do it with many more things than just corn, like plants and animals, especially dogs. But corn has made the biggest of all changes and had a very big effect on our lives. We changed corn so much it doesn't even grow in the wild anymore. So what began as a plant that people did not have much use for is now in 1 out of every 3 foods you can find in a store. Nature's first made corn was through natural selection, killing off any plants that did not survive, leaving room for plants that could survive and pass their seeds. Maize was so important to the Native Americans that they began to choose which plants they would pass on their seeds in something called artificial selection. This is how people take over nature. Artificial selection is when people change how living things pass genes and seeds on to their offspring and make changes over time. So now do you want to eat that 1-inch hard thing? I don't blame you. Let's go to the store and get some corn. Fun fact, wait, you might be thinking you don't see corn in any products from the store. That's because it's changed in many ways to take on different forms, from sweetener to filler and plastics.